This is Daf Yerushalmi Kilayim. The article Oz V'Hara edition, we are on Daf Kav Ches Amud Aleph, the second line, Muksha Atzmo. In the Vilna, that is on the top of Tezvav Amud Aleph. Muksha Atzmo is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 lines before the Mishnah of Halacha base. Muksha Atzmo Mahu, the Gra and Reb Chaim changed the gears into Shieh Nitzol instead of Shiatzil. Shieh Nitzol Berosh HaGoyvel. Can the Muksha be saved by the top of the border or not? Maim Zoim Bezoim Shieh Nitzolim Be'esamos Umechza. If the grain, which is saved by a gap of to 10 and a half amos by 6 vachim, it doesn't work to plant patches on top of the goyvel in proximity to other ones. Muksha shunitzo b'shmona amos, a muksha which is saved in shmona amos, whereas according to Rabbi Akiva, lo kosher kain is not a kal v'chomer that they are not saved by the top of a govel. Now that sounds like a very strange kal v'chomer, right? If the learning from is because the Zoroim are more chomer than the muksha. 10.5 verses 8. So where's the kal v'chomer? It's a good question. The Gemara itself asked it. I'm Rabbi Yudan. Avoid Rabbi Natalia, or Unified Natalia said, "Veheinu koshkein." Where's this kal v'chomer? How does this work? Elachinu. Rather, this is the way to learn it. Maim zoim b'zroim shenitzolim be'eser amo mechza. It says your name Asar, but the Shas and the Grach will change it to Eser. Be'eser amo mechza eina nitzolim b'rosh hagoyvel. It's they're not saved by the head of the goyvel, right? Muksha shunitzo b'shteim esrei. Koshkein, muksha which is saved by 12 is not a kal v'chomer that it's not saved by rosh goyvel. And that is going to, according to the Shita of Rabbanan, that you need 12 amos by muksha. And that machlokas Rabbanan and Rabbi Akiva is coming up in Rabbanan in Halacha Hey. And we got there with Hashem, but that's so the kal v'chomer only works out according to Rabbanan, not according to Rabbi Akiva. Halacha base. Kol means zoim, ein zoim baruga. It doesn't work for a grain. All these miniature harchakos. Yerakos, only vegetables. So it works in a vegetable patch of this small size. Chardal, mustard, bafunim, peas, shufin. Some other type of the name says it's funim hashufin, a certain type of pea, smooth pea. Means uranium. They are like grain for this purpose. Afunin hagamlunin, but the afunim, which are big ones, according to Pnei Moshe, minyarik, they're a type of vegetable. Gova shugaba tefach. If you have the gova was originally tefach high, so you can plant on that govel. Nismait and became diminished. Kosher, still kosher. So kosher because it was kosher originally. Atam masa mayim sheim amukim tefach, a furrow or irrigation ditch, which are tefach deep. Zoyin tochen shlosha. This is uranium. You can plant 3 seeds. Echad mikan, echad mikan, echad ba'emtza. One on this side, on the boundary. One on the other side, on the bank. One on the other side of the bank, and one in middle on the bottom. Says Markom means Zroim b'chulei. Chardal hafunim b'shufin means Zroim. They are considered to be a type of Zroim, the seeds which require more hachaka. And here the Melech Shlem and the Reb Chaim put in the word afapi. Api shazon liyerek. Even though you're planting them not for the seed but for as vegetables, then nevertheless, ein noslim osam agabe aruga. They can't be planted on top of the aruga in a govel. They can't be planted in this manner in which we plant vegetables. Um, so you asserting you're growing them for vegetables as vegetables, it doesn't work. But on the flip side, um, Hafuni Gamli Pula Mitzri, Shazor and Lazera, if you planted them to produce the seeds, these species, ain't no simasagaberu. Despite the fact that they're normally vegetables, in case you planted them for the seeds, they are not considered to be vegetables. Zor and Yerek, no simasagaberu, only you planted them for the purpose of vegetables, then you can plant them in the form of these miniature patches. The other types of seed, ornamental garden seeds, which don't produce edible fruit or produce, even though you plant them to produce more seed. Nostin osana gabe ruga, they are considered to they are have the status of the type of plant which you can plant in that small patch. Um, Says more further. Nismai kosher. If the govel was left came less than that, but still kosher. Amar Rabbi Hadat Amar Lizroim Shabo. That's for whatever is already growing there. Or Lizrabo Lechatbitchila, but the now Lechatchila plant in this govel of diminished stature, it's awesome. What if he did it anyway? So evidently, since there are other ones still growing there from which were grandfathered in before we took out the Ministry Society Tefach and their mutter, so they schlep along these and their mutter as well. Rabbi Yirmiyah asked, Nicha nekru hashnim harishonim mutarim. Okay, I understand. If the second one's the ones planted after it was diminished less than Tefach, and they're uprooted, the first ones remain mutter, they're grandfathered in. What about the other way around? Nekru rishonim, once it's supplanted first, they got uprooted. Hashniyamayim, the second ones, which are piggybacked on top of the grandfather ones. Now the grandfather ones are not there. What's their status? Shminadol, it's learned from here. Hamita shenitlu shteruko shalom. You have a bed in which the two poles on the long side, which support which are the frame, which support the straps, which hold the mattress. So the this is I guess a cool, relatively Yerushalmi cool type of hyperlink. Uh, the, uh, you have a bed shnidu shteruka shalah, vasla es chadashos, and he made new ones. V'lo shina es hanakavim, but he didn't change where the holes are. Nishtabru chadashos tmeya. The new ones broke. It's tame. Yeshanos tahora. Shakol hoich achar harishonos. So harishonos. So the general principle is when a keli breaks, it loses its status as tame and becomes tor. But so here you took out the two arukos, and which are the length of the bed, and you left the two ketzaros, which are the width of the bed. So you made the new arukos. We didn't change the holes, so the ketzaros are still intact the way they originally were. So therefore, the bed is considered to be sufficiently intact that it doesn't lose its shem tuma. But the new one, and that's means even the ones broke, it's still tummy. But if the now the short ones break, they're no longer tummy. Even though you already have long poles which are in place, it doesn't matter because they're new, and it's a new bed. The old bed is no longer with us. It's broken, so therefore it's no longer tame. Hadam Arad, this teaches us that nek rashnim harishonim mutarim. If the second ones are uprooted, the first ones remain mutar. Nek rishonim, but if the first ones are uprooted, then you lose your grandfather. Over there it's lakula, right? You lose the bed loses tuma and becomes tar. It's the chumrah. The the Zorim which were mutter now become usher on account of the first ones being uprooted, and that is again a very cool classic Yerushalmi link chain to something what serious we would think are very different. Says more further. Rabbi Yoina Omar, Rabbi Zir, Rabbi Ami Tavei Mishem Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yoina says, Rabbi Zir says, Rabbi Ami both said, and the name of Rabbi Yochanan. Chad Omer. So the Machlokas Rabbi Yochanan said, Chad Omer Somchin Lagoder Vein Somchin Lagovel. You can put your vegetables right up to a fence, but you can't put them right up to a govel, not right up to that boundary. Chonomar says, Chonomar govel shisma kosher. If a govel got diminished, it's kosher. Hagodah shisma puzzle, but a godah which got diminished is evidently puzzle. V'loidi mano mardo mano mardo. We don't know who said what. Mimadam Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Zir B'Shem Rabbi Yochanan. Something the godah ain't something the govel. From that which Rabbi Yossi and Zir said Rabbi Yochanan that you can plant right up to a fence and not right up to a govel. Heavy Rabbi Ami do Amar HaGovel Sheismai kosher. So it must be Rabbi Ami made the other statement that a govel which got diminished is still kosher. Okay, Sheismai possible, but a fence which got diminished is possible. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yossi said, Afanan Tninon, we also learn Tateon, both of these things. Govel Sheismai kosher. HaGovel Sheismai apostle. That the Govel which became diminished is kosher, but a godah which came diminished because is possible. And now the Gemara elaborates a bit on this. Somebody go there, you can get it right, plant right adjacent to the fence. Then we learned how somebody who puts his crop right up against a well, near a plowed field, the legapa and to a fence, the derech or to a road. Legapa is one type of fence. Again, there's another type of fence. Shehu gavoa sortzvachim, which are the gutter which is 10 feet high. You can put seeds right up to there. Ain't similar govel. Where do we see you can't put something right up to the govel? We learned how to tell him amasamayim. You had the furrow or the irrigation ditch, shema mukim tefach, which are the tefach deep. Zorin letocha, you plant within it. Now here it says shisha in the Gemara Minei Ziranim, but then it says echem emsa. So the Rasrios and the Skos, Reb Chaim, all changed the gears to Zorin letocha shlosha Minei Ziranim. It means it's about a shear of 6 by 6 on the bottom, and now. Gemara is going to refer for this. It was mutter to be soymech to the govel mamish. You should be allowed to make a full patch of 5 minim down below. It doesn't say that. It says you only make a patch of 1 down below. You can't make a full patch of 6. So it must be, since you're only paying 1 below, you can't be soymech to a govel. And that which we're going to say in a moment, talking about if you plant 1 stalk on top, that is talking about literally on the border of on the point of the border of the govel. Okay, let's see the inside now. So, he's saying you go right up to the boundary. Plant below several rows. In other words, plant an arugula down below. I'm in Chamikum Rabbi Shmuel, so the Chebraya. He's made send for Shmuel. No. It's not necessarily proof. The potter shows a rare barosha govel. So about where something's going mamish out of the point where the govel goes down, and therefore you can't plant all that stuff in the middle. Marlo, so he said to him, Shmuel Rabin said back to Chabriah, should be over Emor Lehem, whatever. In Katie, if that's the case, Yaakor also Kelly is Matakamasuros. You should be able to you should uproot that. It's not good. You should uproot that 1 stalk, and you should plant below several rows. Is not more better to uproot 1 kelach and plant below several shuros? and therefore it must be reasonably saying. It's got to be talking about where the where there's no stalk mamish on the edge, but there's stuff on top and then stuff on the bottom. So if that's the case, you really would not be able to plant in a goyvel this way, because you're not be able to summon a goyvel, but you would be able to plant it in a goyvel this way, because then everything is hitting out a rosh tor. So in rosh tor, it wouldn't be a problem. It's going to be soymech, but a rosh tor you could do. And that brings us to the beginning of Halacha Gimel, which is on Daf Chav Tesamah towards the bottom, so we will certainly stop here.